Hello, how's everybody doing out there tonight? Come on, it's Thursday. How's everyone doing out there tonight? Magic Room, let's go. We got a great show for you tonight. Before we start, just a couple house rules. If everyone could just keep your table talk to a minimum, keep your cell phones on vibrate. Try not to check on the babysitter or your fantasy football team while you're here. All right, your dog. What happened to the mic? Here we go. All right, guys, so without further ado, I want to bring up your host for this evening. This guy, all over the country, headlines. He's one of the best around New England. Very good friend of mine. Let's give a big warm welcome for my good friend, Johnny Peasy.
Hi, everybody. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. We have a great show for you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the king of Boston comedy is here tonight. Let him know, Mr. Steve Sweeney. Beautiful. Wow. Can't believe this. You know, I got to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I feel well, I don't know now. Okay. I feel fit. See? We're getting feedback. Hello, Bob. All right. I'll say it again. I feel great. Yeah. You know, I tell you what, in the past 12 months, I've had a tetanus shot, a shingles shot, pneumonia shot, RSVP. I don't even know what the RSVP is. I know somebody gives you something, you give it back. I don't know. I've had the super duper duper flu shot at CVS. I've had 2 Modernas, 3 Pfizers, 16 boosters. I feel great. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get hit by a car. People will be like, did you hear what happened to Johnny Peasy? No, he got hit by a car, but he was vaxxed. Are you shitting me? And I got to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for making it here tonight. I don't know where a lot of you people live and the ride you had a long ride. And I get lost everywhere I go. I got lost coming here. Past 2 years, it's been a nightmare. Everywhere I go, I get lost. Because apparently, during our little pandemic lockdown, when we were all locked in the house for 2 weeks, some state workers said, you know, tough situation, people are locked in. How can I fuck it up even more? I know. Change the exit numbers. Yes. There you go. And you say to yourself, what was wrong with the original ones? Did you ever get to exit 12 and go, shit, I wish it was 57? Do you know how they change it? How they did it? According to the mileage. Okay, so that's good. So now you got to look for the mileage, look at the exit, look at the mileage. As you go by the exit, go. Okay, so anyway. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am very lucky doing what I do. I work all over the country. I do Vegas, Atlantic City, Laughlin, Reno, all over. And people say to me all the time, plus I've been in plays and musicals, and people say, Johnny, you've done a lot in the business. What are you most proud of? And what I'm most proud of is going overseas to Sarajevo, Kosovo, and Bosnia to entertain our troops. That's what I'm most proud of. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Are there any veterans in the room here tonight? Any veterans? Give our veteran a big round of applause. Yes. Thank you for your service. I got to tell you a little story. So when I went over to Sarajevo and Kosovo, my body clock, I did 14 days, 7 bases. Now, my body clock was off by about 10 hours. I was waking up every single night at 2 o'clock in the morning, wide awake and starving. And now I said, oh, you got to be kidding me. Now I got to walk 2 miles to the commissary to get myself a little snack. My snack for 14 days was Twinkies and chocolate milk. Yeah. So here I am, 2 o'clock in the morning, middle of the night, walking to the commissary. It's about 1.5 miles away. But here's the thing. Every time a soldier sees me, they stop in their tracks and salute me. I go, wow, he's saluting me. And I'm like, wow. And I salute him back, and I go on my merry way. 2 soldiers come by, stop in their tracks. They salute me. I salute them back. I go, these kids are great. They're saluting me. I go in and get me my snack, Twinkies and chocolate milk. I come back. As I'm walking, every time a soldier sees me, they salute me. Now, this went on for 14 days. Finally, my last day, I said, you know, I have a few hours to kill before the transport plane takes me back to the States. I'm going to read one of the citations. And it said, "Thank you, Johnny Peasy, for coming over here for your country to entertain our troops. While you're on any base, you have an honorary rank as a lieutenant colonel." Right? So I'm like, oh my God, they knew, I didn't know. I said if I'd only read that citation the first day, I could have sent them over to get me my Twinkies and my chocolate milk. "Private, go get me Twinkies and chocolate milk. That's an order. Lieutenant Colonel Peasy here." And the economy sucks, right? You don't think it sucks? I think it's been horrible. All the prices are up. Eggs at $17 for a dozen. Gas. But I'm sorry, you have a lot of money. I could tell by the fucking shirt. So anyway, so no, the economy is, it's really, really stuck. I mean, you can't walk into Starbucks without somebody sticking a cup in your face. Spare change, and we all try to help. Go in my pocket, I throw some change in his cup. He's happy, I'm happy. Just yesterday, I come out of Dunkin' Donuts, see a guy standing outside, cup in his hand, and I said, I gotta help this guy out. I walk over, I throw a bunch of change in his cup. He says to me, "What are you, an asshole?" I said, "Excuse me, that was my last bit of change." He says, "Look in the cup." I look in the cup, he's got coffee in the cup. Now I have to buy him another coffee. Of course, now he wants to go to Starbucks. He orders a caramel cafe macchiato venti. It cost me $22. Thank you, Starbucks. So just the other day, now, by applause, how many of you people have seen people at red lights with little signs trying to get money out of you? Have you seen that now? Yeah, I think we've all seen this, people at red lights. True story, 2 weeks ago, I'm driving home. I'm literally 1 minute from my house. I'm coming up to a red light, and I could see the guy standing there with a spray bottle in one hand, washcloth in the other, with a little sign that said, "Wash your windows, $1." So I get up, sure, the light turns red, and now he starts going over to all the cars with a spray bottle and washcloth, leaning in. "Wash your windows, $1. Wash your windows." And I said to myself, oh, Jesus, he's going to get to my car. I know he is. Sure enough, gets to my car. He leans in. "Wash your windows, $1. I said, "Good, get in." I took him to my house. I said, "Start at the basement, work your way up." See, that's something. You gotta always think, you know. So I gotta tell you something. I work in Vegas. After 28 years of working in Vegas, I am not a gambler by any, but I like to, you know, every day put 20 bucks in the video. This was the first year ever, I hit for a royal straight flush. I was so excited. Thank you. I'm high-fiving people. Everybody circles around my machine. They're hugging me, congratulating me. And then the pit boss comes over. And he looks at my machine, and he says, "Ace of hearts, king of hearts, queen of spades, jack of hearts, 10 hearts." He says, "You don't have a royal straight flush." I said, "Yes, I do." He says, "You have a queen of spades." I said, "Yeah." "Well, she identifies as the queen of hearts." I am no longer welcome at that casino. I do a lot of driving in this. I had to do a show, Bar Harbor, Maine. I heard the same commercial, annoying commercial, on the radio 32 times. Maybe you've heard it. 1877 cars for kids. Have you heard this? 1877 cars for kids. 1877 cars for kids. You've heard it. 32 times I heard this annoying commercial. Finally, when I got back home to Boston, what do you think I did? I donated my car. And I got to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, I felt really good about it. I felt like I helped, like I did something from my heart. Now, the company I was leasing the car from, not happy. And now in that same commercial, they're asking for real estate, unused property, maybe a boat hanging around in your driveway. Honey, you know our little chalet in Lake Winnipesaukee? Let's give it to the kids. Maybe they'll stop playing that fucking commercial. So I was so disappointed. Did you know Tupperware went out of business, Chapter 11? Yeah, I was so, who doesn't have a whole drawer full of Tupperware containers in their house? I got lids. I have lids. I don't even know what the container is. I got lids everywhere. You want a lid? I'll give you a lid. I have more lids, Tupperware. I am so disappointed because, they're good to have. They sealed everything airtight. I was so pissed when they went Chapter 11 because I wanted to be buried in one. Well, 1995. Are you shitting me? What do I want, 9,000 or 1995? I'll take the 1995. Good deal. Has anybody seen the Titanic exhibit in Boston? Has anybody gone? What's the matter with you people? Don't you get out? You don't go over the bridge. Yeah, that's like I live in the North Shore. My relatives live in the South Shore. I never see them. Oh, God forbid, go over the Tobin or in the fucking tunnel. Oh, shit. But anyways, I got to tell you something. I went to that Titanic exhibit. It is unbelievable. Dennis, where'd Dennis go? He just left. What an exhibit this thing is. And you think about this ship, this unbelievable, 73 years, bottom of the ocean, 2.5 miles down, bottom of the ocean. And this gentleman, Dr. Robert Ballard, found that ship. This guy, like a needle in a haystack, he found the Titanic. He also found the Bismarck, the greatest German warship ever, unbelievable, and the Monitor, which was a Civil War sub. This guy can find things, but I guarantee you, when he's home watching TV, guarantees like, honey, where's the remote? Where's that fucking remote? I know I put it somewhere. Can somebody help me with the remote? Just like any guy, Any Court TV people here? Anybody like watching this shit on Court TV? I love the Court TV. I am addicted to that. I've been watching these trials from the O.J. trial, the Menendez brothers, Scott Peterson, and of course, just recently, Karen Reed. Karen, I was glued to that 24/7. I couldn't get enough of it. It got so bad with me. When I went into bed at night, I was like, honey, can I approach the bed? She said, motion denied. I said, oh, fuck. I object. Here's something, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share with you all. I'm trying to better myself for the year 2025. I'm trying to make myself a better person. So I'm going to meetings every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, 7 days a week. Maybe some of you can share or maybe know what I'm going through. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to open up to you. You're a good crowd. I'm a pen thief. I love pens. I can't help myself. When I see a pen I like, I can't help myself. Any pen thieves here beside me? Anybody? Yes. So you know what I'm talking about. I can't even help myself. So anyway, 2 true stories I want to share with you. I was at Disney World. So I bought something. The lady behind the counter was nice enough to let me use her pen. She gives me the pen. It's a Swarovski crystal solid gold pen. Yeah. And I'm looking at it going, oh, this is like a $500 pen. And she walked away to wait and somebody else. I went, boom, right. Second true story, a friend of mine's father passed away. So I go to the wake, I go up to the guest book, I sign my name in the guest book, and then I go, wow, this is a really nice pen. It writes so nice, so smooth, it's light, and there's nobody around. I went, fuck it, boom, went to my pocket. So now I get in line to pay my respect. No sooner do I get in line, the funeral director comes out screaming and hollering, Who took the pen? I just put this pen here. And he's screaming and he's hollering. And I'm in line going, holy shit. He's flipping out over the pen. And then I realized my name is the last name in the guest book. It's not going to take Sherlock Holmes to figure out this caper. Now I'm in line. What do I do? What do I do? I just fess up? Do I just tell him I took the pen, be honest, and then tell him I'm a Democrat and they'll let me go? So here's what I did. So I go up to the coffin, I kneel down, I make the sign of the cross, and I reach in and I go, here it is! I found it! I knew it was in there. Oh yeah. Look, he's got MAGA stickers all over the coffin. Can't trust these people. See what I did, folks, for you all? I went left and I went right. You see what I did? In one joke. All for you. Yeah. See? I was just thinking, you know what I was thinking of the other day? How you doing? You're just getting here. How you doing? Nice. Can we get you anything like a fucking watch or anything? A pen? You want a pen? All right, I'll tell the jokes, okay? Okay. So I was thinking of this the other day, ladies and gentlemen, and I finally realized our forefathers were geniuses. They were geniuses. These men that put this country together, that wrote up all these things. And you know what I found out about them doing my research? They were all potheads. They loved to smoke pot, all of them. Adams, Madison, Hamilton, Hancock, they all loved their pot. It's amazing. Now, I was just thinking, can you imagine? Here they are writing up the Declaration of Independence. They're in a room for 18 hours. They're sweating. They're tired. And then Hancock says to Adams, light up a page. Because I forgot to tell you, I don't know if you know this. This is true. The Declaration of Independence was written on hemp paper. Okay? True story. So now that's where the fucking joke, which I screwed up, I forgot to tell you about the hemp paper. But it's okay. You get the gist. So here they are, smoking the fucking Declaration of Independence. And he says, all right, where's the preamble? We smoked it last night. Shit. All right, tell you what. Call up Betsy Ross. Forget the flag. Tell her to make some brownies. Lincoln was a big pothead. Did you know that? Who would wear that fucking hat? Seriously. That's where he kept his shit, right in the hat. You think I make this shit up? It's a crazy, my point here, folks, it's a crazy world we live in, is it not? Yeah. Did you ever think you'd ever live to see the day when it would be easier to buy a shotgun at Walmart than it is to buy razor blades at CVS? I go into Walmart. Yeah, let me try that shotgun. I'll take it. I go into CVS. Hi, I'd like to buy those Fusion razor blades. Manager aisle 4, please. And then Corky comes over, and he takes it to this big fiberglass case, 8 inches thick, 9 locks, with a security guard going back and forth like this. Are you shitting me here? This is crazy. Did you know a 14-year-old kid was arrested in Braintree? 14 years old, arrested before school for dealing Viagra. Is there an erectile problem in the 8th grade that we don't know about? Are they all on Ritalin and can't get it up? What is going on here? But can you imagine what it must have looked like? 8:30 in the morning. Kids walking by, going to school. This kid standing on the corner. Psst, hey, want to get hard? Want to get hard? And you know there's going to be that one kid that gets it, takes it. 2 hours into the classroom, the teacher goes, Joey, would you like to go up to the board? Mm-mm. Give me the chalk, miss. I'll do it from here. How's that? Is that good, miss? I watch a lot of TV. I watch Animal Planet. Sometimes you see things that you go, wow, that's great. But then sometimes you go, I wish I didn't know this. Listen to this. Did you know a pig's orgasm lasts 30 minutes? Did you hear what I said? 30 minutes. Is that fair? Do you know what this means? By the time a pig is finished, I've been asleep for 29 minutes. How do they get this information? That's what I mean, how bad could you screw up working for Animal Planet? They call you into the room, they go, Steve, you were late 3 days last week. Put on the Miss Piggy outfit. Is that somebody's phone going off here? Is that somebody's phone here? Now, I like recreational games. You go into your corner bar. You go up in the summertime. They have cornhole leagues. You like cornhole? You play the cornhole? If you don't know what it is, let me just tell you. They get a big piece of plywood. They put a little hole in it. They put it about 30 feet away, and they give you a couple of bean bags. And I couldn't believe I was watching the World Championship of Cornhole on ESPN, live from Arkansas. I'm like, yeah, you got to see these guys are serious. They get the bean bags. But then all of a sudden, he gets ready to throw his bean bag. He goes, oh, Joe, here, hold my tooth. You could use it if you want. Arkansas, come on. The guy goes, about 30 feet, it was swish right in. I go, lucky bastard. Then the next guy, one after the other. I'm in a corner bar watching this, one after the other. I'm like, holy shit. The bartender went to change a channel. I said, you touch that fucking TV, I'll kill you myself. I'm watching cornhole here. And then some places have darts, nice little dart leagues. Now pickleball's the big thing now. But does anybody know the new rage now? All over New Hampshire, every corner bar, every pub in New Hampshire, and it's coming here. Does anybody know what it is? Hatchet or axe throwing. Did you hear that, folks? Axe throwing. Oh, you got it down here? Well, let me get this straight. So you go into a bar, you have 10, 15, 20 drinks, and they hand you a murder weapon. What can possibly go wrong? Haven't they heard the poem, Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks. Once she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. Yeah, give me a fucking axe. That'd be good. Guys are taking their ex-wives. Come on, honey. Come on. I still love you. Let's go throw some axes. Stand right over there. Are you shitting me? What is next? Grenade hurling? All right, honey. All right, in a moment, I'm going to have you pull the pin, but wait until I get behind that steel wall. Count to 100. You think that'll work, sweetheart? No. Ladies and gentlemen, you're stuck with me all night long. Isn't that great? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be back and forth. Oh, we have a great show. This gentleman come to visit us today. He's a comedian. He drove all the way down from Dartmouth, Massachusetts. Dartmouth, right? And you know what he heard on the radio? 187. Okay, never mind. So anyways, I'm going to have him come up and do 5 minutes. How about a big round of applause for Brian Wayne, everybody?
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight. I got to make this quick because I got to get up early tomorrow. I got an audition to be Alec Baldwin's stunt double in the new live-action Boss Baby movie. No, I do look like Alec Baldwin, though, right? If he had killed more women. Guys that kill women, they usually have mother issues, right? Now, I got some mother issues, but I never killed anybody. My mother always felt that she needed to knock down my self-esteem because it was just a little too high for her. And I remember one time I was going out on a date, and I was standing in front of the mirror, and she walked by, and she said, yeah, that mirror tricks me, too. Because you ain't that skinny, and your tits aren't that nice. Now, there's this new sport out called power slapping. You guys ever hear of that one? Yeah, it's great. Guys line up across from each other and just give each other a smack every turn. Now, to me, I think that the only time two guys should be lining up across from each other is if they're giving each other a kiss. But I didn't realize my dad was training me for power slapping my entire life. I even got 2 for flinching if I backed away. I saw recently that you guys gamble on sports? Because I do a lot of that. Yeah. I found out I had a gambling problem when I was 16 years old. I made a bet with one of my friends for $100 on who could get a blowjob first. I made $90 because it cost $10 for a blowjob in New Bedford, Massachusetts. And everything was fine until I went back a few weeks later and I got arrested. Now, my name didn't make it into the paper, but everybody found out it was me, and I became a hero amongst everybody in school because they found out they could get blowjobs for $10 in New Bedford, Massachusetts. I saw recently this guy died surfing. He got eaten by a shark, and the newspaper said he died doing what he loved. Nope. That dude died getting eaten by a shark right after doing what he loved. The only people that die doing what they love are suicidal people. Oh, we got a couple here tonight. Usually those are the ones that laugh. Speaking of suicidal people, married folks here tonight. You know who's not happy about being married? My wife. Yeah. I abandoned her about a year ago to start doing comedy. And the only thing we have now is communication. And the other day I was like, hey, babe, I feel like I'm becoming an insignificant part of your life. And she said, glad the message is getting across. So I was like, we got to do something physical. We got to find something to do outside the bedroom, right? So she suggested, why don't we try out some pickleball? And I said, no, how about power slapping? But my wife's Portuguese, and she's 5 feet tall, and she's got these genetically strong stonemason hands. So she'd be catching me in the jugular all the time. I'd be down. It's not just me trying to beat my wife here, you know? I'm not like most comics, though. I don't live in the basement of my parents' house. No, I live in a building attached to the side of the house. You may call it a garage. My parents are so old now that I'm worried I'm going to walk in and I'm going to find them dead. You don't realize how much I'm just wishing my parents were having sex all the time. The worst would be is if I walked in and found them dead while they were having sex. Even worse is my dad didn't realize my mom was dead. And that's what I walked in on, right? Ooh. I use Venmo a lot around the house to pay for bills because we share everything. And my wife the other day, she's like, hey, can you send over some money for the saxophone? I sent her over $50. I typed in sax, but autocorrect changed it to sex. Now my whole family thinks I'm paying my wife for sex. My dad called me up and he's like, hey, is she taking on any more clients? And then he was like, what are you getting for $50? I'm paying $10 for a blowjob out in New Bedford, Massachusetts. I saw recently that guys are taking these Zins now, you know, these nicotine pouches here, and they're tucking them in the foreskin of their penis. They're skinning the Zins. They're skinning the Zins, I know. And they're sticking them up their butts, too. It's crazy. I'm 43. If I had known I could take my Adderall through my dick, I would have been doing that instead of up my nose. I had to quit the Adderall, though, because I got really obsessed with anybody that was speeding by my house. And I learned their routines, and I'd make them drive 10 miles an hour behind me the whole way to their house. They would call the cops on me all the time, and the police couldn't do anything about it until they figured out that they could, and they took my license. They said I was an immediate threat, and in the police report they wrote, Brian skirts all civil and criminal infractions, he's become a danger to the community, and a vigilante. How fucking cool is that? My last name was Wayne already. I was pretty determined to be a vigilante. The reason why I'm telling you this is because after the show, I got Adderall for sale outside, 2 for 1, if anybody wants it. And if you got a little extra money, I'll help you tuck back your foreskin so you can stick it on in there. All right, everybody, thank you very much. I'm Brian Wayne.
How about it one more time for Brian Wayne, everybody? So, ladies and gentlemen, you know, I talked about the economy being tough, and it is tough. I have so much work I need to have done in my house, and I am the most unhandy I mean, I'll write you a joke, don't get me, but I am so unhandy. I don't know what end of the hammer to use. But thank God, Home Depot, the savior. Did you know at Home Depot they have a whole library? It's called the Do-It-Yourself Library. Anything you want to do, carpentry, do-it-yourself carpentry, electrical, do-it-yourself electrical, plumbing, do-it-yourself plumbing. They even have auto repair. Do-it-yourself, anything you want to do. Home Depot has a library, do-it-yourself. So I need to have I want to put a deck onto my house. So what do you think I did? Call the fucking carpenter. That stuff's, yeah, I can't do that shit. I'm sorry. No book is gonna help me out with that shit. Oh, here's something for you guys here tonight, okay? I'm just reading Men's Health magazine. On the cover of Men's Health magazine, it said, if a married man is not having sex at least 5 to 7 times a week, he's at risk of a heart attack. So guys, turn to your wife or your girlfriend right now, look her in the eye. If you're not getting it at least 5 to 7 times a week, she's trying to kill you. I should have been dead 20 years ago, okay? Now, you know, especially with Valentine's Day coming up, you know, ladies and gentlemen, if the secret to a good, healthy, long relationship, marriage, guys, you know, you can't always leave it up to the women to get ready. Sometimes you've got to do certain things. So, you know, just the other night, I said, you know, I'm going to see if I can make this a special night. Took a nice bubble bath. Oh, it's beautiful. I trimmed few little places. Oh, yeah, come on. It's called manscaping. Come on. It's beautiful. Put beautiful cologne on, nice new red underwear. I would have did me, okay? So now I walk into the bedroom and I go, hey, honey, want to fool around? You know what she did? She handed me a book. Do it yourself. So I did it myself. And I must tell you, I'm pretty good. Here's something I want to, you know, one of the things that really pissed me off is people who think that they can park anywhere they want, anywhere they want, as long as they put on their little hazard lights. Oh, you've seen these people. They park, they double park, they triple, and then if you say something, excuse me, sir, you're blocking in 5 cars. Oh, I'll only be a minute, but I got my hazards on. Oh, it's the fucking get out of jail free. You got your hazards on. Sorry I bothered you. Does that piss anybody off here? Or am I the only one? Thank you. Thank you, my dear. You know, I was actually watching the news a few weeks ago, and it said this couple were found murdered. And it looked like the work of organized crime. You know what that means, organized crime? They come in, they were organized. They commit the murder, they took care of things, they wiped, they cleaned up everything, not a trace. Organized. As opposed to unorganized crime, they come in, they commit the murders, they take pictures with the body, they put posts on Facebook, I killed these 2 assholes. See, that's why I could never, ever be in the mafia, because I am very disorganized, okay? I mean, I would rob a bank, me, like a Mr. Disorganized. I would rob a bank, and I'd walk in, all right, nobody move. And then one of the tellers would say, you forgot the gun. I'm like, ah, fuck. All right, my car, I'm parked right out front, nobody move. Car's in the front seat. Stay right there. And then the cops will come in. All right, who's parked in front of the hydrant? Oh, that's me, officer. But I got my hazards on. You see what I did, folks? You see what? That's called a callback. You just got 2 callbacks. That's genius. I'm telling you right now. Do it yourself. Genius. This next Thank you. Thank you. See, you appreciate callbacks. Huh? Thank you. Artistry. I like that. Good one. Have another drink. So anyway, this next gentleman comes and says, funny guy, you're going to love him, works all over the comedy scene. How about a big round of applause for Mr. Chris Justice? Let him know.
Keep it going for that guy. Pretty cool jacket, huh? I'm working my way up. I just have this plain gray one. You can't have a fancy one. What a fucking night, though. I don't know if you guys... I'm from Saugus, okay? I'm not too happy with John for having me on this show. I don't know if you know what time I left. Do you want to take an idea what time I left to come here tonight? Tuesday. I left fucking Tuesday, all right? You guys got balloons for us, though. It made me less angry when I walked in. It's like the whitest crowd ever. This like, what is this, the U.S. Open? What's going on here? Holy shit. Is a Matchbox 20 concert after this? What are we doing? Hot air balloon rides? What? We're sorry about Saugus. I know. You don't have to be sorry. We're the white trash capital of Massachusetts, all right? You guys obviously doing a little better than Saugus down here. You guys don't even have minorities in this place. The kitchen staff's white. That's never good. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I didn't leave Tuesday. My 10-year-old daughter, she drove me here tonight. She's 6'6". I let her do whatever she wants. I've been drinking all day. I'm like, honey, you're driving. Let's go. On our way. She's out front. I gave her an edible and a taser. I was like, I'll be out in an hour. Stay here. Can't mess with her. Kid can dunk a medicine ball. She made the varsity team for the high school at 10 years old. I had to sign a waiver. The boys team. She made the fucking boys team. She averaged a double-double. You know, people worried about these trans kids. My kid is taking down real men with, like, dicks and that have 30 pounds on her. Thank you. One at a time. That's how I like it. One at a time. There we go. Holy shit. Yeah, I send her in the liquor store for me. I'm too drunk to go in. I'm like, honey, go in the liquor store. The guy ain't going to stop you. He's giving her whatever she wants. I don't even think she's paying. Again, thank you. One at a time. This lady, we're going on tour. Me and you. Holy shit. How come every grill I drive by, like in the trash, you always see grills in the trash? They're always better than my grill. Yeah, anyone else doing that? I'm just minding my own business, driving home from work, and I'm like, is that a fucking Weber? Holy shit. I got my van. I collected like 8 of them the other day. I brought them all home. I was like cleaning them up, replacing tubes and wires. My wife's like, what are you doing? I was like, listen, one of these is making us dinner tonight. Relax. We made it like a bachelor rose ceremony. I just started eliminating grills one at a time. Then the next day, I had to go down to City Hall and buy like 8 of those stickers to throw away all the grills I didn't want to keep. But the joke was on me because there was all these sad dads driving by my house like, is that a fucking Weber? Holy shit. Johnny with the callback. He's not the only one. Yeah, I got a bunch of kids I left at home to come down here tonight, though, besides Natalie. She drove me, but I have a daughter this past Christmas. She's in the 3rd grade. She came home from school one day. She's crying, tears down her face. Dad, all the kids are making fun of me at school. They're saying Santa's not real. They're saying our parents are Santa. Dad, please tell me the truth. And I'm like, shit. Because I can't have these kids making fun of my daughter based off my lies, you know what I mean? So I'm like, sit down, honey. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not your father. And there's no Santa, you know? But much easier to tell them after you eliminate their dad, you know what I mean? This kid has no idea where the presents are coming from, I can tell you. Thank you, this fucking lady, I'll tell you. It's like the opposite of my wife. My wife's the youngest of 9. We had like a Yankee swap with her family. So one of the gifts I got, I took it from my niece because it was better than the socks I had. But it was a pizza maker, all right? Just a pizza maker. It doesn't not hurting anybody. We're not going to hurt anyone. I take it from my niece. I end up getting the pizza. No one takes it from me. I get the pizza maker. My wife looks at me. She goes, What are you going to do with that? Believe it or not, I'm just going to make a pizza. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's controversial here, honey. I don't, but yeah. She's taping her mouth shut at bed now. Is anyone else doing that? You ever hear this new phenomenon where people tape their mouth shut when they sleep to breathe through their nose? Am I the only one who's married to a lunatic? Is that? Okay. No, I thought so. I just want to, I'm scouring the earth to find another lunatic. That's all. But she tapes her mouth shut when we go to sleep at night. So, like, she could breathe through her nose, but then I'll come to bed and she's like, she's trying to, like, tell me. And I'm like, what? What is it? What is it? The dog said she can't even, like, communicate, you know? But I'm like, listen, I think you got it wrong. Like, I don't mind the tape on the mouth. Why not while you're awake, though? You know what I mean? Like, you're already quiet when you're sleeping. We don't need it then, you know? Got it all wrong, babe. We watch these shows, me and my wife. We'll always watch these stupid 90-Day Fiancé, these dating shows. And she'll always do this. These couples will be together on these shows, and she'll go, I can't believe they haven't slept together. They've been on like 9 dates. I'm like, oh, that's all? Oh, that's all it takes is 9 dates? Pretty sure we've been on about 40 dates since the last time we slept together, honey. Why don't we? Let's go. Thank you. Where were you there? This guy's killing you now. What the fuck? Holy shit. My wife, she's at home right now. She's probably watching like all the right TV shows for me to wind up perfectly murdered someday. Is any women addicted to this Discovery ID channel? Like the name of the shows are anti-men. They're like, okay, tonight on the lineup we have Wicked Widows, followed by Wives with Knives. Well, I think one of them was just like the last one at midnight. It's like, just suffocate your husband. They're just telling, just do it, just do it. Remember this face. They have those hashtags, believe women. I'm like, yeah, I believe this one's going to fucking murder me, all right? I'm afraid to go to bed at night. I go up there. She has it on. I'll go to shut it off. She'll go, no. First she takes the tape off. She goes, no. I like to listen to it while I'm sleeping. She's trying to get it in her subliminal mind, right? She's like already got her alibi. She's better. I'm telling you, she's studying. She's got a master's degree in this shit. I'm hiding in a crawl space in my basement with a notepad. Today she looked at me evil. I don't know. This could be it. Fuck. Oh, man. So I'm in Saugus. We got a Hooters in Saugus. You guys know about Hooters? How did Hooters survive the Me Too movement? Does anyone want to fill me in there? It's a restaurant exclusively based on tits, right? I mean, we drive by it. My 4-year-old son, Tom, he's like, Dad, those ain't even owl's eyes. Those are nipples. He's just like telling me, like, I don't know what a fucking nipple is. Thanks, Tommy. And I have this weird friend. He always goes there with his 10-year-old son. And I know this because he'll take this very weird picture with his son and all the waitresses. He's just like petrified, smiling, just like, can I sit down, Dad? He's wearing mesh basketball shorts here. It's only because I want the wife just like to bring the daughters to this restaurant I completely made up called Hangers. It's a steakhouse, that's right. And like we'll have all the waiters wear like a black Speedo, you know. We want to see what you're hanging, fellas, you know what I mean? And Right? You want to, I don't know, you Irish, man, you ain't getting an application. No Irish need apply. That's not even a busboy. Fucking get out of here. I fucking thought of the place I can't even work there. You shitting me? It's not a chapstick in my pocket, all right? But then we can make the daughter, they can make the daughter get in a picture with all the waiters. And she'll be like, get in there, honey, get your arms around those waiters. And she'll just be like, imagine putting that on Instagram, right? Maybe fucking hate crime or something. I don't know. You're back. She's back. I love her. It's my girl. It's my mom. I told her to come. I was like, come on down and do some laughing for me. Fucking driving in at night, Natalie. I'm just looking out the window reading shit. Drove by this billboard. It said 14 million kids every year in this country are suffering from childhood hunger. 14 million hungry kids in our country every year. Just thinking about it, we keep driving like a mile up the road. There's like a competing billboard. It was like 16 million kids every year in this country are suffering from childhood obesity. And I'm like, right? I was like, we got. I'm no camp counselor, but aren't we missing out on a buddy system here? Like, we pairing these kids up one by one. Give them a show on Bravo or TLC or one of those fucked up channels. Coming in second, I like you. Love that. Oh, shit, man. I was watching the news. I love the news. Comedians love the news because it's always trying to divide people. You know what I mean? I always want you to take a side. You know, it's always Republican, Democrat, Ukraine, Russia, Palestine, Israel. And I'm just at home like, Ukraine, Russia. I'm like, I don't even care about Peabody. You know what I mean? Like, they beat my kids in one more sport. I'm fucking Molotov cocktail to a roast beef joint. It's over. Putting them all on notice, you Greek bastards. Fucking so sick of the Peabody. I couldn't care. Why do you want me to care? I steal from my neighbor. I sneak in his yard and I steal patio furniture. You want me to care about Ukraine? Crazy. Thank you. That's about as political as I get, so it's pretty solid. Any Bob Dylan fans in here? Did anyone see that movie? Right? So I took my wife, two of my daughters went. They're like teenage, you know. So I take them. They're like nice enough to come see. I love it, so they want to come see it. And we're leaving, and my daughter's like, Bob Dylan, new fan right here. And I'm like, this is great. Like, you like the music? She's like, he's just so. And I'm like, time out. You like Timothy Chalamet, think, as Bob Dylan. Google Bob Dylan, how he looks right now, honey, okay? She was like, oh, yeah, no, I don't like Bob Dylan. Yeah, no, I'm done. If Timothy Chalamet was Bob Dylan, my daughter would be fucking hunting him down, though. Holy shit. All right. How we looking at John? Am I good? Am I good, John? One more? I got one more. I got a bunch more. I'm only going to do one more, though. He wants me to leave. I gotta trek back to the North Shore past the dragons and stuff. We gotta go up there, so. Kowloon, that's right. Kowloon, Giggles, Prince Pizza, we got them all. We got it all. Like I said, we got a Hooters. We got trailer parks. We got a Red Roof Inn that charges $279 a night. I don't know why, but I think you get a hooker and an 8-ball. I don't know how that works. But so yeah. So I was out the other day, like, doing yard work. It was like snow. I was breaking up ice and shit. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like, I see this, like, fucking squirrel. Like, I don't know what he's doing out in January. He's, like, running up and down the tree, like, digging, looking for nuts. He's, like, going crazy, spazzing out. And I'm like, holy shit, I can help this little guy. You know what I mean? Because, like, I got shovel and everything. I'm like, I'm going to do what I can to help this little. I know he has some bitch squirrel wife in the tree that's like, get the nuts. It's snowing, get the nuts. And I'm like, I don't want him to have to worry about. I'm going to help him, right? So I go over with the shovel, I move it, I see there's like a hole. I found like I was like, eureka! It was like fucking acorns everywhere, right? So I make this big pyramid at the bottom, made a little without the snow. He comes running down the tree, he's just like, he was looking at me like, did you fucking do this? I was like, yes, I did, Steve. Enjoy your fucking day. Fuck that bitch squirrel wife of yours. Enjoy your day, Steve. Next thing you know, he's like running on the tip of my fence. Now there's other squirrels hanging out in January. He's with all his buddies. They're like fucking running around. I saw him. He was like pointing at me, telling him what I did. He was like, now I'm having fun shoveling. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. He comes running in front of my house. We're like locked eyes, slow motion. He's like smiling at me. We're like best friends. So we're staring each other down. And a car comes and runs him over right in front of me. Right dead. It's my daughter Natalie, though. She's 10, man. You know what I mean? She didn't see him. Fucking not that good with the wheel. Sorry, guys. Call back. Genius. Johnny said it. I didn't. Genius. Genius. That's right. Guys, thank you. You'll see me on my moped heading What's it? Is it west from here? We have to go west. How do you go west to Boston? That's effed up.
How about it one more time for Chris Justice, everybody? You know, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you something. And I look out there. By applause, how many grandparents are in the room tonight? By applause. God bless you all. The greatest thing in the world, grandkids. Isn't they great? Because when they're fresh, you go the fuck home. It's beautiful. But I feel bad for parents today because it's the toughest job in the world today, raising kids, is it not? You know why? They're geniuses. These kids are so smart, and it's because of the phone. Y'all see them on the phone. They're always on their phones. So they always have a smart, quick answer for you. And that's what drives me. This is a true story. Talk about how smart these kids are with their answers, true answers. So I'm babysitting my 2.5-year-old grandson, and he's playing by himself. And it was the cutest thing to see this 2.5-year-old kid playing by himself with army men. When was the last time you saw a kid today playing with army men? Never. And there he was, 2.5, army man in his hand, and he's doing this. I'm like, oh my God, how cute is that? He's using his imagination. No video games, no TV, no PlayStation, just his imagination. I'm like, oh, how cute. It's an Italian thing. Oh, so cute. All of a sudden, he does this, 2.5. Fuck you. So I go, Anthony, you can't say that. He goes, I didn't. He did. I'm like, is that the greatest answer I have ever heard? This kid's got to go to Harvard, MIT, Malden High School. I don't give a shit, you know. Smart answers. They always have a smart answer. The 11-year-old goes in the bathroom, comes out 7-8 minutes later. My daughter goes, did you wash your hands? He goes, no. She goes, you got to wash your hands. He goes, why should I? I'm not an employee. The answers they give you, these kids. So my daughter had her third one. And she had her third boy. She got 3 boys, third boy. And I feel bad for the third one because he's labeled because of his name. They named the third one. Are you ready for this? They named the third one Marco Rosario Cerundolo. Holy shit, right? Can you imagine this kid's first day of kindergarten? Teachers doing the roll call. Stephen Smith, Joey St. James, Peter Murphy. Marco Rosario Cerundolo. Here I am, miss. Where do you want me to sit? I don't give a shit. It doesn't bother me. I'll sit anywhere you want. I'll sit over there. I'll sit. You tell me what you want, miss. And by the way, anybody bothers you in here, you tell me. You know why, miss? Because I'm Marco Rosario Cerundolo. Hey! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, baby. Thank you. Thank you very much, baby. You like the jacket? Thank you. You know, I got to tell you something. When Tello's closed a few years ago, I thought my life was over. But when I saw this here jacket on the rack at the Ocean State job lot, I said, that's you. Ladies and gentlemen, this lovely gal coming up the stage, funny gal, she works all over the country. She's toured with Vinny DiBenedetto. She's one of my favorites. You're going to love her. Please put your hands together for Miss Annie Powell, everybody.
Hi, everybody. How's it going? This is a great room. You guys are awesome. I heard you from the back. You sound fun. We gonna have fun together? All right, good. My name is Annie Powell. I know you heard that earlier. I'm from a little town in Connecticut called Waterbury. Has anybody heard of Waterbury, Connecticut? Yeah? Who claps for that? Anybody from Waterbury or Connecticut? No, good for you guys. That's what you can clap for, that you're not from Waterbury, Connecticut. Well, yeah, give it up for yourself. Waterbury, Connecticut is an extremely diverse place, a lot like this room here tonight. When I was growing up as a kid, I would introduce myself to everyone in the neighborhood, and it was such a weird, awful feeling. All the kids hated me, and my family was one of only 2 white families in the neighborhood, and I would go up and introduce myself to the kids, and I didn't know why they hated me. And my mom, Nancy White, married my dad, Brian Powell. Nancy White thought it would be a genius idea to hyphenate my name when I was a kid. So I'd go up to the kids in the neighborhood. I'd be like, "Hi, I'm Annie White Powell." You guys get it? Yeah, welcome to the Cape. My God, you guys don't get it. All right, how about this one? When I was in high school, my nickname changed to Colin Powell. So there's that. And it's not because I was an asshole. It's because I loved anal in high school. Oh, there you are. I'm just taking the temperature in the room to see how dirty I could get with you guys. You want it dirty tonight? Well, let's do that. Bring it. You know what? This is just for you. No, here. All right, so here's the truth. Do you guys know if you're Gen X or Gen Y or boomers? Do you guys know what you are? You do? Is anybody here Gen X? None of you? Really? If you're Gen X, you were born between 1965 and 1980. There's nobody in here that was born between 65 and 80? She says you are like it's an accusation. She's like, you are. Thank you. I'm turning 50 this year. I'm going to turn 50 in June. Thanks, right? Not doing bad. So the thing is, when I was in school, we actually got spanked in school. Did anybody here still catch the tail end of getting hit at school or getting an eraser thrown at them, or your teacher would pick some? You did, right? Yeah. So when I was a kid in school, we had to wear these little tight plaid skirts with the socks pulled up over our knees and the tight little white shirts. You guys, anybody remember that? Yeah, you remember that, right? The white panties underneath. And they used to sit down on this stool like this and take us over their knee, and they'd spank us, and our skirts would come up to our backs, and it was really embarrassing, right? We were dressed like little porn stars. So embarrassing, the whole thing. It wasn't until my high school graduation that I found out I was actually homeschooled by my uncles. Oh. Okay, all right, relax. How many of you guys are boomers? So that was what? Yeah, you were born between 1950 and 1965, right? That's a boomer. So you guys are the boomer generation in here? That's what you're. That's what I'm working with. All right. Is it 1950 to 1965? That makes you a boomer, right? All right. So my mom is a boomer, and you guys, the boomer generation, you guys are the most conflicting people on the planet, because this is evidence of it here tonight. You guys are the ones that disciplined us Gen X kids. We got beatings, we got grounded. They don't even have that anymore. You know that, right? Now parents these days, their kids throw a tantrum in the grocery store. What would my mother do to me? She'd grab me by the neck, drag me out to the car, beat me the whole way out there, and then kick me into the car. You get so excited about it. That's the boomer mentality. Beat your kids, right? That's what you did. Now, the parents, I saw somebody in the grocery store the other day. The kid was ripping stuff off the shelves, throwing a tantrum, making a mess in the store. The mother gets down on her knees like this, and she's like, "Oh my God, Noah, are we in our feelings?" I was like, "Oh my God, what is wrong with you guys?" But the boomers, you beat us. Congratulations, because we're pretty awesome. My generation, you guys did a great job beating us. In other words, thank you for that. But here's the thing about you guys. You were also the ones that were wild. You're like the Woodstock ones out in the woods. You guys were banging everyone in the woods, taking mushrooms, doing drugs that don't even exist anymore. They weren't even available to us because you guys did all the drugs. They're gone because of you, right? You did all the drugs. They're gone. Yes. And what, are you the guy that sold all the drugs? You're getting really angry and aggressive about this. That was your thing? What? Oh, he's got nothing to say. You're high right. He's high right now. He's eating the rest of the Quaaludes. That was your generation too, right? You had those. But now you guys have grandkids and you're different people. You're like you went from out in the woods doing your thing to beating your Gen X kids, and now your grandkids are born and you are like back to this Woodstock era. You guys really are and you're the bosses. You are the bosses of the world right now. You truly are the bosses. You're the last ones that have any scruples and morals and a moral compass. You do, right? Except for you. Like, we know. It doesn't exist for you. So my mom came to an appointment with me at Mass General Hospital. You guys ever been to Mass General? You know the little layout. It's a massive hospital, right? So Nancy comes to this appointment with me, and I'm going to give you the perfect example of a boomer, okay? This is what she does. We're walking out of my appointment, and I look over, and there's a church at Mass General right next door, and I look over, and I see a guy on the church steps, and his pants and his underwear are down around his ankles. He's sitting down on the church steps, spread eagle, just like this, and he's pleasuring himself on the church steps, right? He's doing that, but not only is he doing that, he's adding an extra step to it, and he's smacking himself in the back of the head aggressively while he's doing it. So just for dramatization purposes, this is what it looks like, right, on the church steps. So I look at my mom, and I'm like, Mom, and she's like, what? I go, look at the guy up on the church steps. Look what he's doing. She looks back at me like the old Gen X way, like I did something wrong for calling him out. I'm like, oh, God, she's going to beat me. I don't know what she's up to. She looks back at him, looks at me again, and she goes, you ever think maybe he's having a bad day, Annie? Like, what? What kind of bad day are you? It was 10:30 in the morning when we walked out of the hospital. What kind of a bad day is this guy having that's what he chose to do in honor of his bad day, right? You know. He goes, God love him. Yeah. That's such a thing a boomer would say, too. That's the thing. And that's the other thing. You guys are, like, getting close now to the end, so you read the Bible. I know. That's what you do. Like, I know. That's what you do when you're close to the end. You start reading the Bible for salvation, right? And the boomers are the last ones, too. You guys are the last ones that lick your finger to turn the page in a book. Nobody does that, but you guys invented it. It belongs exclusively to your generation. Congratulations on that achievement. You lick your fingers when you turn pages. Right? You do. Anyway, so that's the thing. My mom now, she lives in Florida. She did the thing. She moved to Florida. She comes up to torture us in the summer. So she's in Fort Myers, Florida. And her thing is like, hey, she has 4 kids, and she's always telling the 4 of us, you guys should really go to church. I think you guys should go to church. That's what you need to do. Start going to church. And we don't go to church. But I did decide that when Nancy comes up for a visit, what I'm going to do is say yes to going to church. And when we're walking into her church that she's gone to when she lived in New England for about 45 years, while we're walking in, I'm going to take my pants and underwear off and throw them down on the church steps. And I'm going to lay down, spread eagle on the church steps, and just aggressively flick the bean and smack the back of my head at the same time. And when she's like, oh, my God, Annie, stop, my friends are watching. What do you think you're doing? I'm going to turn my neck like a psycho, and I'm going to look at her and go, did you ever think I was having a bad fucking day, Nancy? Just to get her back. Yeah, thank you. That's what I'm going to do to Nancy. Do you guys use Facebook? You know what it is? I never know. Like, you never know what you're going to get in a room. I can't see half of you guys in the back. I'm not trying to insult you. I hate Facebook, right? But here's the thing. So the Mass General thing for me, I'm a 2-time cancer survivor at 50. So far. Thank you. And I think that one of the most important things, especially as I get older, is everybody in here is in an argument with somebody right now, and they can't let it go. You got to let it go. Let that shit go. Say you're sorry. Make amends, especially if it's with a sibling. Get it. You are so high on whatever it is that you're on that you couldn't engage in an argument if you tried. Thank you for yelling it out, though. Yeah. You actually are in an argument right now with me, so it turns out you're wrong. Yeah, you're fun. What's your name? Guy that's dressed like you work for UPS still and you're clinging to the old days. What is it? Dave? Yeah, no, you look like you have a more like Eddie Haskell type name. Like you look like a little shit. Like Mike? Boring. So anyway, you want to fight, Mike, right? All right. Yeah, you got nothing. This guy's wasted. Yeah. Who's driving him home? The Gen X. You the one with the good eyes still at the table. You take him home. You have like the one good eye. I know how it is. God. So anyway, I'm telling you, drop the arguments, especially if they're with your siblings. Unless they're with somebody like my sister Eleanor, who was born in 1981, and my parents named her Eleanor, and she's still mad because her name's Eleanor, and I would be too, because, like, what are your parents doing naming you Eleanor in 1981? Like, my parents were churning butter while they were creating her. They're like, we should name her Eleanor. So she's been mad her whole life. So she starts fights with all of us, right? And then what she does is she does a group text fight with the four of us. There's four of us in the group text. She's like, reminds us of something we did when she was 8 years old. She's like, remember you punched my horse in the face? And we're like, no, that never happened. She's like, gotta go to bed. And then she signs herself out of the group text, and we're ready to fight her. We're always ready to fight. So I found the greatest solution for fighting. There's no place you should fight except for on Facebook. Go on Facebook, join town pages. Do you guys know what those are? You have a town page, Mike? No. What town do you live in? Falmouth definitely has a town page. I belong to 97 town pages. Falmouth is one of them. I'll come to your town, pump gas in my car, and join your town page. And I will, it's so much fun. And I go on just to get into fights. And every town has a theme to it. Like, they fight over either potholes or the school system. There's one town in New Hampshire, they fight about the Dunkin' Donuts and how shitty the coffee is. Every town has their focus, right? So in 2024, I decided to escalate this thing with the town pages. I decided to play a game with myself to see how long it would take to get kicked off a town page. I have 96 to back me up that I can go back to, so it doesn't matter, right? So I'm like, what can I do? I'm going to play a game, get kicked off. So I went on, there's a town called Canterbury, Connecticut, and their theme is animals. They fight about bears and goats and birdseed and all this crazy shit. There's a guy in town who steals goats, and he has his way with the goats. So I go on the town page, and I'm like, I'm gonna start mild and see what happens. So I go on the Canterbury, Connecticut town page, and somebody puts a post up that says, does anybody have kittens? And I'm like, this is cute. Let me see if I get kicked off of this. And I read the comments, and they're fighting about how you should adopt a cat, you should get one from the farmer down the street, all this stuff. And I'm like, does anyone have kittens? So I type, yeah, cats do, duh, right? Like, I'll get kicked off this thing for sure. Like, they're just going to hate me. But instead, I get all the hearts, the likes, the laughs, the thumbs up. They're like, tell us more animal jokes, Annie. I'm like, oh, my God, I'm like the animal jester in Canterbury, Connecticut. I can't get kicked off this thing. So then I joined, there's a town in New Hampshire called Warner, New Hampshire. You know what they fight about? Disney. They fight about Disney. That's their thing. They fight about Disney World, Disney characters, all this shit. By the way, if anybody in here, I know boomers are like, don't do this, but if any of you guys are a Disney dad, like where you wear like all the Disney clothes, you have like the suspenders with Mickey on it and then the hoodie with Mickey, and you reveal the Donald Duck shirt underneath that you take off, you are the most unfuckable man on the planet if you're a Disney dad. It's disgusting. Like, stop it. It's so gross. Right? Am I right? Disney dads, disgusting and unfuckable. Yeah. So anyway, their thing is Disney. So I'm on the town page, and I see this post about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and they're like, she's a hooker living with all these dwarves, and I'm like, oh, this is crazy. So I was like, I'll get kicked off this. So I go, this is what I said. I did cocaine with 6 of the dwarves last night, not sleepy. And I'm like, oh, I'll get kicked off this thing. You get it? Well, come on, you guys. It's a great joke. Thank you. I don't get kicked off. The same thing happens. I get all the accolades. I become like the Disney jokester on the Warner Town page. So what'd she say? She's mad about the Disney thing? You take offense? Oh, he's a Disney dad? And oh, I know you're not getting laid tonight. So I'm like, where could I actually get kicked off? So I'm like, I'm gonna find one of these places where they like crystals and like patchouli and all this crazy Burlington, Vermont, right? So I go on the Burlington, Vermont town page, and I look for something that I could get involved in to get kicked off. So I find a post on there, and there's a woman claiming that for $49.99, she can draw your soulmate without ever seeing them. Has anybody seen this shit on Facebook? She can draw your soulmate for $49.99. It takes her 12 weeks to draw the soulmate. So I was like, oh, this is the one. I'm getting kicked off here. So I go on and I'm like, hey, for $39.99, I can draw your soulmate's genitalia for you immediately. I'll draw your whole mate, right? And I'm like, I'm getting kicked off. You know what? Instead, people were like, what's your Venmo, Annie? I'm like, oh my God, I can't get kicked off shit. So I go back to the Waterbury, Connecticut town page. This is my hometown now. I'm like, I'm going to get kicked off this thing for sure. So I look and I see a post. I'm like, it's a picture of a crack pipe. And this guy is like, says missing crack pipe. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to jump into this. I read the comments and it's not a joke. People are like, bro, I saw it on your windowsill last night. Check the pizza box on your oven. I saw it there. I'm like, they're actively helping this guy try to find a crack pipe. Forget this. So I scroll down. I see another one. Do you guys know that Wayne Newton is still alive? So he was making an appearance at the Palace Theater in Waterbury, Connecticut. And I'm like, I'm going to post underneath. They're going to drag Wayne Newton's warm corpse to the Palace Theater. I hope they have the after party at Majorano Funeral Home. And instead, all the thumbs up, the likes, the laughter. Again, I get famous on the Waterbury page. And I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do my own post on the Waterbury page. And not only did I finally get kicked off a page, I got suspended from Facebook for 30 days for what I did. Thank you. I didn't even tell you what it was yet, Mike. UPS Mike. So I go on. The day Tina Turner died, I go on and I post this. This is what I did, guys. I post, sad face. Tina Turner died today. She's finally in heaven with Ike now, but he beat her there. Yeah, I got suspended. I learned my lesson. Relax. Let me tell you this one last thing, okay? I'm going to tell you why, like maybe backtrack for a second, why I was at Mass General that day in 2024. Because back in 2020, have any of you ladies that are at, this ripe old age of whatever this is, so it's the perimenopause thing. Guys, you should be really comfortable talking about this now, right? Because it's a woman's world. So you two look like you're comfortable doing anything together. He's got his hand on your lap. You're wearing a plaid shirt to cover it up, though, whatever. UPS Mike. You're friends. You're friends till 2 more drinks in, and then you're special friends tonight. I have one, too. It's fine. So in 2020, have you ever had an internal ultrasound where you had to go into the hospital and have, so should I tell the guys what it is? Because we don't really talk about this, right? So I had to go to have an internal ultrasound in 2020, and what it is they take you as a woman into this room, and it's pretty romantic. There's nice candlelight going with romantic Kenny G music playing in the background. They put you in the table with your legs up in the stirrups, and they pull out this twice the size of this microphone. It's a gigantic dildo, and they take it out, and it's got this crooked tip on it, like tipped the wrong way, like my ex-boyfriend Bobby. And I said I'll never say his name on stage. But what they do is they put a condom on this thing, then they lube it up, then they lube you up, and they put so much lube on you, they take like those empty ketchup bottles, and they squirt it from across the room, all over your stomach, all over your legs, all over everything. You are so lubed up. They give you the Johnny coat to put on. It just sticks right to you like a paper towel to a wet mess on your countertop. So there you are. Yeah, wow. I really wish you weren't sitting in the front because you suck so much as an audience member. Like the worst of all time. So now a demonstration for you, Mike. So here I am all lubed up, right? The whole thing's going. And I'm one of those people, I don't know if you could tell that if you ask me a question, I can answer it. Like if it's a decision I have to make, if you're like mustard or ketchup, I'm like ketchup. If you want to go here or there, there. If you ask me a question that throws me off my game, I actually start to get angry. And here's what happened that day. I was asked a question that threw me so far off my game that I still think about this to this day right now. There are 2 female technicians in the room. My legs are up in the stirrups. And she comes over to me with a probe, and she says to me the most taxing question of a lifetime. She goes, do you want us to put it in for you, or do you want to do it yourself? And I'm like, there's no right answer to this question. There's no right answer, because if I'm like, I want you to do it for me, now I'm a lesbian, I got to go get a Subaru, Merrill's, a golden retriever, I got to go get a mullet, maybe an old rat tail. I'm a vintage lesbian because I'm 50, I got to go get a wife, I got to go get married on the town green, I got to do all the stuff. Now I'm gay. But if I'm like, give it to me, I want to do it myself. Now I'm like some voyeur. I'm like, yeah, watch me do this. Like, oh my God, there is no right answer to this question. If you have ever had a colonoscopy in your life, they have never had you face down, ass up, and woken you up as you're going in and been like, do you want to put it in yourself or do you want us to do it for you? No. What are you even talking about? If I do it myself, are you going to waive my copay? Are we going to do, what are we doing here, right? So I'm like, I want you to do it for me because I have full coverage and I'm paying for it. So I want you to do it for me. It's your job. Like, isn't that the right answer? Then as the procedure's happening, and I had like 9 orgasms at the time. So my head was all screwed up. Whatever. Mike likes it. So I'm a mess over this whole thing. And then I get in my head that I'm the first person ever at Mass General Hospital that said, I want you to do it for me. And now my face is up in the break room, and they're like all high-fiving each other. They're like, she's the one that made us do it. I'm like, I answered this wrong. I stressed out about this for 4 years. So I go back in 2024 to have the procedure. I have to have it again, and I'm freaked out. I'm losing my shit about this because all this stuff is cut in my head with my childhood trauma, and I have no idea how to answer the question. So I'm like, my picture's up in the break room. So I go back in, same setting as 2020. The romantic music's playing in the background, the candlelight music. It's like, it's the Kenny G again, the whole thing. And I'm like, I cut him off at the pass. I said to the 2 technicians, I said, can I ask you something? Are you going to ask me this time if I want you to do it or if I want to do it myself? And she said, we ask every patient that question, Annie. And I was like, okay, well, what's the right answer? And she goes, this little bitch, she goes, it's whatever makes you more comfortable. And I'm like, here we go again. Now, ladies, I'm going to tell you this, and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you it too, but this is for the ladies. If you go to Mass General, Dana-Farber, or Brigham and Women's in the greater Boston area, they're never going to ask you that question again because of what your pal Annie Powell did that day. Yeah, not all heroes wear capes. Sometimes they wear Johnny coats covered in sake-like lube. And I was that day. So here's what happened. When I laid down and put my legs up in the stirrups and they asked me the question, I said, give it to me. I want to do it myself. Okay? And then when I went to do it myself, you know what I did? Spread eagle as far as I could, and I took that probe and I shoved it right in my asshole. You're welcome, you guys. You guys, I'm Annie Powell. Enjoy the rest of your show. Love you too, Mike.
How about it one more time for Annie Powell? Look at this. I come back and they go, he's back. We can take a pee now. We won't miss anything. My dear friend, Dennis. No seats? Dennis. Oh, there's a draft. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, put on the seatbelts. Are you ready for the king of Boston comedy? You've seen him on HBO. You've seen him in movies with Denzel Washington, Bill Murray. He's been in There's Something About Mary, The Equalizer, Me, Myself, and Irene, The Vig with Peter Falk. Here he is, Mr. Steve Sweeney.
Thank you so much. And thanks to all of you that waited in line for hours. We were going to put screens outside so that the people still waiting out there could see the big show. What an honor. What an honor. I have worked my whole life for this moment. Not just to be in Yarmouth on a Thursday night, but to be in a room. What's the to be at the music room. Hey, can you turn the TV off, please? Let me ask the guys in the kitchen. Oh, my God. I'm just getting over the inauguration. Did you see the inauguration? And then they were giving out pardons. They should give Trump's wife a pardon for that fucking hat. It was so distracting. It's all I was looking at. She looked like a senorina. Please don't boo this early in my act. I will get to everyone. I do want to thank you for coming out. You know, it's all right. No, that's fine. Because I appreciate your enthusiasm. This is a sacred moment for me, so can you guys be quiet in the back, please? As I said, I've been in this business a long time, and I've worked so hard, and I've paid so many dues for this moment. And I want to especially thank you people here in Yarmouth, because I know that you have so many entertainment options. There's so many other places you could be tonight. And you chose us, the music room, especially on gay night, because that's how we are in Yarmouth. You know, these comedians have really gotten out of us, off our problems here in Yarmouth. A lot of you know the gang violence is out of control here in Yarmouth. Sure, there's a few rappers that crawled their way out of Yarmouth, but there's other people still suffering. Thank God for the General Dollar Store and the other places where we can, you know, there's never a shortage of places to buy T-shirts here in Yarmouth. It's meant so much. Oh. Then, of course, the sensitive problem of illegal immigration. People pouring over the border from Denison to Yarmouth. They don't want to learn our language. They're taking our jobs. They're eating our fucking dogs. Son of a bitches from Dennis. He had just finished a meal of 2 golden retrievers, and he said, I'm full. I can't have any more. But then he had a beagle. Okay, look, you probably guessed that I'm on a lot of medication. It's not the meds, it's the dosage. Why do they have to spell out what I have? Mr. Sweeney, you have ADD. You don't have to spell it. I happen to be a graduate of Bunker Hill Community College. You can just tell me that I have AD. But getting back to the reason that we are all here today, and including you who doesn't want to sit down. Why are you standing there? What? What are you pointing at? What? What? Are you fucking a mime or something? You're pointing to shit. What is it? Oh, the air. You can speak. It's okay. Anyway, getting back to the reason that we are all here today. We're all asking ourselves the same question. Are timeshares a good investment? This man just took a good shit. Good for him. You gonna laugh at anything tonight? You. No, you. Are you gonna laugh at it? You know what? You know what? See, here's the problem. She's stoned, okay? With these dispensaries with the marijuana, everybody's stoned in these audiences. Now, the problem is the marijuana crowd, they get the joke on the way home. I don't want you laughing on the inside. I need the gratification. But you know, I don't want to take all the credit for tonight. I'd like to acknowledge, if I could, the talent, the commitment, and the tremendous hard work of the sound and lighting people who put together these curtains and names. And Jesus Christ, don't you feel like you're on Broadway? I mean, you know, I actually spent a year off down here, living in Yarmouth, down the street here, thanks to the generosity of Brian. And people that live year-round here, you are weird motherfuckers. I'll tell you exactly how it would go for me. I'd go to like the 7-Eleven or the 99s, and people come up, "Don't you love the Cape in the off-season? Don't you love the Cape in the off-season? How much do you love the Cape in the off-season?" So then they'd say, "You want to have a conversation? Okay, you start. Don't you love the Cape in the off-season?" I can see why you're all fucking alcoholics down here. Now listen, you're going to have to be quiet because I'm losing my fucking focus already. I told you I got ADD, ADHD. See, when I was a kid, they didn't call it ADD. They called it "Stop Looking Out the Window." Anyway, you know, as I took the trip, I live in Quincy, Mass. I grew up in Charlestown. For those of you who haven't been to Quincy, Mass, Quincy now is the... Huh? No, what a fucking, yeah, huh? Yeah, fucking, huh? Yeah, fucking, yeah. Quiet. Quiet. Let me do what I do. I don't interrupt you when you're making Big Macs. Listen, you're not in Provincetown now. Yeah. This is why, you know what, God bless you. You're drinking yourself to death. God bless you. This is why I stopped drinking. You know the big reason I stopped drinking? I got so sick of Chinese food. Every time you drink, it's Chinese food. When was the last time you got shit-faced and said, "Christ, I'm in the mood for a salad"? So 1 in the morning, all the drunks come in the Chinese restaurant. "Hey, let me have a table, chair." And then the Chinese waiter's got to explain the menu for the 7th time. "Okay, look, one more time. There are no substitutions. The rice come with number 10 come with the rice. Sometimes you get these Chinese waiters, they give you the menu like it's coming out of a cannon. "You want chicken salmon? You want pork fried rice?" I want you to stop spitting on me. And they're so hyper. How can they go from Tai Chi to being so hyper, you know? Chinese waiters, yeah, pork strips, yeah, pork strip. Fried rice, yeah, pork strip, fried rice. Chicken chow mein, pork strip, fried rice, chicken chow mein. Now what do you want? You want to drink? Drink a Mai Tai, drink a Scorpion Bowl. Suck it down, suck it down, suck it down. Go get in your car, hit a pole, you dead, bye-bye. Anyway, I want to get back to what I was thinking about. I was driving down here on the expressway south and going through all these towns, you know, Plymouth, this one and that one. And it really hit me on my way to this gig. I've made a lot of bad decisions in my life. Yeah, this is what it's come to. Then they hit the bridge. I love this bridge, the Cape Cod Bridge. Welcome to Cape Cod. Then the next sign, desperate, call the Samaritans. Apparently, people drive all the way to the Cape to kill themselves. They could do it in Boston. Just step in front of a fucking truck. You can do that anywhere. That's what I think. But I did come down the Cape this summer because, you know, I'm all fucked up. And everybody says, get down the Cape, get down the Cape. So I did. I left Boston Friday afternoon at 4. I made the bridge Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Down the Cape. Then I went to New Hampshire. New Hampshire, their sign says, welcome to New Hampshire. Then the bottom it says, bienvenue. I've been in New Hampshire thousands of times. No one's ever come up to me and said, bonjour, monsieur. Bienvenue. Le français très difficile pour moi, m'entendons. It's more like there's a bear over there. I was in London last summer. I loved it. London. People are so nice. They're so polite. You know, if they don't hear what you're saying, they say, sorry, sorry. Then I come back to Boston. Someone doesn't hear you. What? Speak up, you fucking asshole. It's so horrible. I was using an app that translates into English, and I was using it in England. So I'm in what's called the Tube, which is their subway minus the homeless people and the urine and everything else, right? So I say to the guy, I'm looking for Paddington Station. He says, well, you got to do your title right. You get up the station, yeah? What the fuck was that? Then I'm up in Scotland. Holy shit. Oh, glick, without realizing that. Ireland was the worst. Holy shit. I'm in a pub. I think the guy's talking to me. Standing next to him after 2 beers. You can't understand one word. He says, well, I'll tell you, the sun was coming down here the other day to clubs. I said, what the hell do you think I'm doing? I got no hands on this. I said, the son of a bitch. I'll give you a good kick in the knockers. You lean long like that's a lousy bastard. The son of a bitch. Then he wants me to react. What do you think? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? What the fuck is wrong with you? And they think we all know each other. Oh, you're from Boston. Jesus Christ. You must know my cousin. His name is Kelly. Well, that narrows it down. Can you tell me something else about him? Now you'll definitely know him. He owns a bar, and his brother's a fireman. So now they have an app for Bostonian. So somebody comes to Boston, they say, the guy says, hey, Jeet, you press the button, did you eat? No, Jew. No, did you? Banky Yui, turn your car around. Hakalunga, spit. Are you a year-round person here? Are you all year-round people here? Nice to see you over in the corner. You know, I was talking to the owner here, Brian. This is what he told me to tell you. You drink as much as you can, drink as fast as you can, and get in those cars and gun it. Let's make these Yarmouth cops work for their goddamn... Hey, did you ever know? I got pulled over down here. I said, you know, as you know, the older you get, the younger the cops get. But this kid was like 12. He pulled me over. He said, come on, get out of the car. Do you know why he pulled you over? No, I don't. Anyway, oh, God. So let me put it to you another way. You guys, I watched you watch the comedians, and it was nice because I saw you having a good time and laughing and smiling. And I'm happy for you. But for me, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, this is truly, truly the end of the fucking road. This is what the point where you have to look in the mirror and say, it's over. It's fucking over. You know how people would see Judy? Can you put your foot down, please? Oh, all right, okay. You know how people would go to see Judy Garland just to see if she'd die and shit like that? That's how people are coming to see coming to see me now. It's fucking over. You know, I mean, it's like you got to know when it's fucking over, and it's fucking over. I mean, I went to Walmart. I went to Walmart's to apply for a job as a greeter, and they've changed the whole rap. This was the dialogue they give you. You walk out, you say, "Welcome to Walmart. I assume you're here to shoplift. If you'd like to steal electronics, that's aisle 4. Household wares, aisle 5. Anyway, so I'm watching TV, and I'm looking at all of them, the politicians, Biden, Trump, all of them, and Jesus Christ. I'm looking at Trump's cabinet. I found out they emptied out McLean's, and they're the cabinet. Trump's like at a supermarket. You know, give me Greenland. Give me. I think I want to make Canada. Let me grab Canada. I miss Joe Biden. You know, Joe Biden made me feel young. He made me feel on top of my game. Hi, folks. Oh, I'm Joe Biden, and it's great to be here. And look, wherever we are, it's great to be here because we're all Americans. And if there's one word I could say about America, that word would be. Anyways, look. Here's the deal. My uncle got shot down in the Philippines. And he was eaten by cannibals. Well, most of them was eaten by cannibals, but saved a slice of my uncle. Then he was in a place called the Hilltop Steakhouse in Route 1, and it was part of a special. And anyway, look, some people, you like pudding. Other people, you like Jell-O. Ice cream doesn't have bones. Look. Bingo has always been on Wednesday nights. All right, all kidding, and I'm not kidding. This is the biggest erection of my life. It's a heart erection. What? What? I know I'm a resident. I'm the president. It'd be nice if some. And then Kamala. Kamala Harris. She talks to you like you're 7 years old. Let me finish. Oh, my God. And they're all so old. Mitch McConnell. This is Mitch McConnell, the president of the Senate. As the president of the Senate, that bill will be coming through the Senate. And that is it. I just shit myself. I just shit my pants. I have shit that is running down my leg. Nancy Pelosi, she's had so much work done on her eyes, she looks like she has a gun to her head. Have you seen that Vivek Ramaswamy? He should be selling slush in Kenmore Square. Fucking, what are you doing? I never saw it. You never see an Indian guy pissed off like that. You know. See, I talk to people in India every week because I keep losing my credit card. So I'll call up. The guy in India will answer, "Hello, this is Scott." Look, Ravi, I don't give a shit what your real name is. Yeah, it is true. That's what makes it funny. How about RFK? He gets up, he's got thousands of people out there, and they're waiting to hear him, and then he talks. He sounds like the Godfather. You come in here, and you come to my house. Whatever happened to that Kennedy bellow? Remember Ted Kennedy? I want to talk about working families. I don't have one, but I want to talk. Bernie Sanders, he's 82. Bernie, we have a $16 trillion deficit. Twice 5, 10 plus 6, that's 16. That is a fact, in my view. I like Hillary Clinton. I respect Hillary Clinton. When Hillary Clinton wears that pantsuit, I get a Woody, I get a boner. I get a horde on my dick, gets horde. Elizabeth Warren, she's a, Elizabeth. All right, let me just, what the fuck? Can I finish my joke? Elizabeth Warren is a librarian on cocaine. I have a plan, I have a plan, I have a plan. So anyway, this is how I got this gig. Brian called the agency, like all these guys, and they say, we want someone old. We want someone desperate, and they always say the same thing, get Sweeney. I'm opening for the Rolling Stones next month. Mick Jagger said, I want someone old. I want someone desperate. Get me Sweeney. Do you know, I have seen the Rolling Stones 8 times, all the way back to the 70s, and every time I've seen them, someone has said to me, it's good you're seeing them. It looks like it'll be the last time they ever play. Back then, Mick was still great. I see this red door, and I want it to turn black. 40 years later, Mick, down in Foxborough, he's still great. I've been hurting out so long. I've been wild all along, and I miss you. Meanwhile, Keith Richards is so shocked that he's still alive. What the fuck else do I have to put into my body? Now, I know you're not going to believe me, but you can look this up. Sponsoring the Rolling Stones tour was the AARP, the American Association of Retired People. Can you see that concert? Hey, you, get off of my cloud. Hey, you, get off of my cloud. Start me up. Start me up and never stop, never stop. Imagine doing this for a fucking living. Hey, Johnny, where are you? Is that a half? You know, I gotta go. I got about 3 or 4 really good reasons. Number one, my laundry's in the dryer down the street. Number 2, I'm wearing what's called an ankle bracelet. Plus, my dog's out in the car. Let me tell you about this. Let me tell you the story about this dog. So I go to the veterinarian. The guy said, where's your pet? I said, I don't have a pet. He said, well, why are you here? I want you to put me to sleep. I've had enough of this shit. Just fucking put me down. said, well, I can't do that. I said, well, then fix me. What? Fix me, neuter me, cut my balls off. He sends me to a pet psychiatrist. They exist. So this guy says, well, first of all, we have to groom you, and then you're very mangy, you can fetch, then I'll give you a chew toy. So I start talking. He realizes how fucking crazy I am. So then he says, you should adopt a dog. There's a place across the street. It was this kill shelter, all these dogs. They came up from the south. They weren't abandoned. They just wanted to get the fuck out of the south. So they were all in their cages like an old Jimmy Cagney prison movie. Come on, get me out of here. I grabbed the dog. I'm walking out. The woman stops me. She says, look, I've been doing this a long time, and I'm telling you, this dog does not like you. I said, that's fine, but he'd rather be with me than be dead, right? Not necessarily. Sometimes an animal would rather perish than go home with a weirdo. I bring the dog home. You don't know what you're getting when you adopt these dogs. I got Jack Nicholson from The Shining. I bring the dog. He's in the corner. Bow the fuck wow. You want to do a trick? How about a nice pile of shit on this rug? That tricky enough for you, asshole? All right, I'm going to bring Johnny back up. We're going to do a little joke off. Thanks. You guys have been great. Thank you. We're going to do a little thing now. I'm going to tell a joke, then Johnny's going to tell a joke. All right, you ready? Two Italian guys. One guy says to his friend, he says, how you doing? Well, let's get the drinks out of the way first. Go ahead. You all set? It's no problem. You're an alcoholic. You're starting to get the shakes. I get it. That's where I went to AA. First went to AA. I said, my name's Steve. I'm an alcoholic. Where's the donut? Anyway. Yeah, you know, I went for food, Johnny. That's all. You know, you people in Yarmouth, I know you're open-minded, and you've done time, right? So I was at a place that used to be called Walpole State Penitentiary. Now it's called Cedar Junction. Yeah. Isn't that a great name for a frickin' prison? Cedar Junction. There's Uncle Joe. He's a moving kind of slow at the junction. Cedar Junction. So anyway, you know what it's like, the cellmates you get, fucking weirdos and everything else. But then I was doing 5 to 7. Johnny's coming up. He's doing 3 to 5. I don't know what he was up there for. But we hit it off right away. You don't know where love's going to hit, right? So we connected right away. So one night, you know, I'm in the lower bunk. You know what it's like getting the lower bunk. And then he was in the upper bunk, and he says, Cheryl. I said, Johnny, it's Steve. He said, not anymore. So that's how it began. So Johnny, and I know you people are open-minded, and I'm just saying this on a personal level. Johnny is transitioning. So please don't, please, he gets really fucking triggered if you call him a he. If you fuck with his pronoun, he gets fucking violent. He pulled a knife. They have guitars backstage. He grabbed one. He was going to kill me. I pointed to him. I said, him. He said, I told you my pronoun is not him anymore. It's he. It's she. So I just thought I'd share that. Look at all these people. I don't get it. I thought you were going to tell jokes. Okay. So, 2 Italian guys. One guy says to the other guy, how you doing? He says, not too good. I got this car. It's got 150,000 miles on it. I'll never sell it. His friend says, do like everybody does. Put the odometer back to 10,000 miles. He sees him a week later. He says, how you doing selling that car? He says, why should I sell it? It's only got 10,000 miles on it.
Oh, we have a few more to go. So this married couple are having wild sex. The wife is on top and she's going up and down and up and down. All of a sudden, their little son walks in the room, looks at them, freaks out, runs out. She says, honey, you traumatized that kid. Maybe I could talk to him and make it right. So she hops off. What's the matter with this microphone? She sees the little kid in the hallway. She says, honey, I know what you saw. You saw mommy on top of daddy going up and down like this. But there's a reason why mommy's going. You see, daddy got the big belly now. And I was just on the top trying to push the belly down. And the little kid goes, Ma, it's not going to work. She goes, why not? He goes, well, when you go to work in the morning, the neighbor comes over and she blows it right back up.
You know, I know that couple. They live in Chatham. Chatham. They were never so. You know, everybody's got such an attitude down here. I said, I met someone. I said, where do you live? Oh, I live in Chatham. Then I said in a really loud voice, is that near Buzzards Bay? Just to break their balls. You know, like where I live in Quincy, you know, someone will say, where do you live? Oh, I live in Hingham. Right next to Weymouth, right, Weymouth? Guy goes to the doctor. The doctor says, you have got to stop masturbating. The guy says, why? The doctor says, because I'm trying to examine you. You can't do it while somebody's doing it.
What's the matter?
You can't do it while someone's doing that. You can't make examination. Why is that so fucking hard for you to understand? This guy goes to medical school.
I get it.
Well, it's just the man's trying to do an examination.
That's kind of rude. That's kind of rude. All right, the 70-year-old widow decides to remarry, so she puts an ad in the local newspaper. 70-year-old widow decides to remarry, looking for a man who will not beat me, looking for a man who will not run around to me, must be good in bed, apply in person. Well, sure enough, the next morning, her doorbell rings. Ding, ding. She runs over to the door. She opens the door, and she's looking around. And then she looks down. She sees a little old man in a wheelchair. And she said, I hope you didn't think I was going to consider you for this position. I mean, look at you. You got no arms. He says, I'll never beat you. She goes, yeah, but you got no legs either. He goes, I'll never run around on you. She goes, yeah, well, are you good in bed? He said, I rang the doorbell, didn't I?
See, now that's a joke that I don't get. I don't get it. Maybe it's me. You know, there's been, since I've been on this stage, there's been so many people going back and forth to the bathroom. It makes me think there's some cocaine being done here. I'm sorry, but that's what I think. You know, I love, you know, when I, yeah, sorry, yeah. And I'm so used to this. Audiences, you know, they're getting fucked up and everything. And when they get on coke, they come up to me after the show and they say, can you do it? Can you tell I'm doing something? I said, no, I can't tell. Your jaw's going back and forth. Your teeth are ground down to shit. You got a margarita glass around your nose. I would have never guessed. Two old guys are sitting on a park bench. Why are you walking around? What the fuck? I'm having flashbacks from LSD here. Just stand there. What the fuck? So two old guys, they're sitting on a park bench. This old lady comes up and she says, whichever one of you can guess what's in my hand, you can have sex with me. The old guy says, it's an elephant. She says, that's close enough.
So this married couple go on the vacation of their dreams, their lifetime vacation. They go to Jerusalem. Yeah, Jerusalem, right? So while they're in Jerusalem, they're not there 2 days. The wife dies. Yeah. So the funeral director there says, look, we could ship your wife back to the States, $45,000, or we could bury you here for $500. You make the decision. Guy thinks for a second. He goes, I think I'll have you ship it back to the States. The funeral director goes, are you crazy? $45,000 to ship it back to the States when we could bury it here for $500? The guy goes, look, 3,000 years ago, a guy died here. 3 days later, he came back. I'm not taking any chances.
That's an unhappy marriage. That's a marriage where maybe one partner is happy, but the other one not. So this guy is dying, and his wife is next to him. And he says, I have one final wish. Will you do it no matter what it is? She said, of course. It's your dying wish. He says, marry Sam. She says, I thought you hated Sam. I do. You are fucking slow, man.
3 construction workers. They're on lunch. 100 stories up. They're sitting on a beam. So the first construction worker, an Irish guy, opens up his lunchbox and he goes, corned beef and cabbage again. Oh my God, every day, corned beef and cabbage. If I get corned beef and cabbage tomorrow, I'm jumping off the beam. Next construction worker, an Italian. He opens up his lunchbox. Spaghetti and meatballs again. Oh my God, every day, spaghetti and meatballs again. If she makes me spaghetti and meatballs, I'm going to jump right off the beam. Third construction worker, Polish guy. Opens up his lunchbox. Peanut butter and jelly again. I can't take it. If I get peanut butter and jelly tomorrow, I'm jumping off the beam. Well, sure enough, the next day, the Irish construction worker on lunch, 100 stories up, opens up his lunch. Corned beef and cabbage again. Oh my God. Yeah! The Italian construction worker opens up his lunchbox. Spaghetti and meatballs again. I'm on night jumping. Yeah! Polish construction worker opens up his lunchbox. Peanut butter and jelly again. Oh my God. Yeah! Well, 3 days later, the widows are all at the wake and they're crying. And the Irish widow says, I can't believe it. I thought he liked corned beef and cabbage. And the Italian widow goes, me too. I thought he loved spaghetti and meatballs. And the Polish widow goes, I can't understand it. He made his own lunch every day.
I'd like to just take a moment, if I could, before we get to the next joke, to introduce my friend here, Dennis Sapone. And Donald Trump has just appointed him ambassador to Chelsea, Mass. Some congratulations. That's right. Right. He gonna be really good in Chelsea, Mass. That's right, you motherfuckers. Anyway. What the fuck? All right, so this old lady, she's 80-something. She finally wants to have some sex. She says, the hell with this. So she goes to a sex toy place. She says, I want a vibrator. The guy says, that's fine. They're all right behind me, ma'am. Just pick one out. She says, no, that one, that one, that one. I want that one, the big red one. Sorry, ma'am, that's the fire extinguisher.
So this young Jewish couple, he's having trouble making his wife reach orgasm. So they go, oh my God. So they go to the rabbi. They go, Rabbi, I can't please my wife. I don't know what I'm going to do. So he says, all right, look, here's what you got to do. Go get a nice young kid. Bring him home. Give him a towel. And make him stand at the foot of the bed while you make love. Let him wait. And she'll see that towel, and that'll drive her crazy. And she'll want to. So sure enough, they go out. They get this nice kid, 21 years old, handsome kid. They bring him home. They get in bed. He stands at the foot of the bed. Like this. Nothing happens. So they go back to the Rabbi. And they say, Rabbi, it didn't work. It didn't work. What do we do now? So the rabbi thinks for a second. He goes, this is a tough one. He goes, I tell you what, here's what you do. Go get that same guy, bring him home, let him get into bed with your wife. You stand at the foot of the bed, and you wave the towel. So at this point, they'll try anything. They go get the kid. They bring him back. Kid goes in bed with the wife. The husband stands at the foot of the bed, waving the towel. Within 2 minutes, the wife's, ah, ah, ooh, ah, ah. She's going crazy, ah. And the husband goes to the kid, see, that's how you wave a towel.
Well, I think we've all learned something tonight. One more joke for me, Johnny. Look at them on the phone like the little kids. You know, that's what's wrong with America. Everybody's on their phone. Like the comedian of the future, I'll just get up here with my phone. I'll text you a joke. Then you'll text back LOL. What kind of a fucking show is that? Don't you agree, Dennis? So this guy goes to the doctor on a Saturday. He says, I got to get 3 Viagra. I got to get 3. The doctor says, I can't give you 3. That's not healthy. You know, I got to get 3. I got to get 3. Why do you need 3? Well, my wife's coming over tomorrow morning, my ex-wife in the afternoon, and my girlfriend tonight. He says, all right, I'm going to give you 3, but you got to come back Monday for a checkup. Guy comes back Monday. His arm's in a sling. The doctor says, what happened? He said, no one showed up. Do you understand what happened? Do you understand? You don't understand. It's like he was working on it. I know you don't get it because I work in New Hampshire a lot and I have to explain to people and they say, oh yeah, he was working on the fence and he hurt his arm. Let me tell one more, then I'll get out of here, all right? All right, so this is a joke I like. Thank you very much for coming out. And we got a big summer coming up ahead here at the Music Room. I give Brian a lot of credit for keeping live entertainment here on the Cape. And I know a lot of you, you know, by the time the summer comes, will have passed away. But for those of you, I got one. Hey, I got 1 foot in the fucking grave. What the fuck? I'm old. Jesus fucking Christ. You know what I mean? People keep reminding me how old I am. I had a guy on Boylston Street, he says, Steve Sweeney, I was in the audience 30 years ago. Do you remember me? Oh, remember you? You're all I've thought about. Jesus. Now I can go on with my life. You mind if I give you a hug? Anyway. Guy goes to the doctor. He's at that age where you got to get your ass examined. What do they call it? Colostomy? What is it? Colonostomy. And the doctor says, just relax. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. And it's not unusual to get an erection. Guy says, I'm not going to get an erection. Doctor said, oh, I wasn't talking about you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you. One more time for Mr. Steve Sweeney, everybody. The king of Boston comedy. How about a big round of applause for Annie Powell? Wasn't she terrific, Annie? we had Chris and we had Brian. I've been your host all night, Johnny Peasy. You guys were absolutely fantastic. Again, we want to thank Brian for bringing us back here, and hopefully we could do some more shows here. We always bring out the best in Boston comedy, and of course, that would be Steve Sweeney. Yes. So I'll leave you with this. I'll leave you with this one joke. I thought it's kind of a cool joke. So this guy turns 65, and he goes, today I'm 65. I'm going to go get my Social Security because I deserve that. I worked hard all my life. So he leaves his house. He walks 2 miles to the train station. He takes a bus. From a bus, he takes a train. After 2 hours, he gets a Social Security. He had to walk 2 more miles to get there. He gets there, says to the woman, he says, look it, I'm 65 years old today. I worked all my life. I want to get my Social Security. She goes, okay, well, do you have identification? You have your license? And he went, I forgot. She goes, well, I can't get it. And he said, I need my Social Security. I took a bus, a train. I walked. And then he thought for a second. He goes, so what he did was he unbuttoned his shirt. He opened up his shirt, and he showed her all the gray hair in his chest. She goes, you must be 65 with all that gray hair. I'm going to give you Social Security. He was all happy. So he goes home. He takes a bus. He takes a train. He walks 4 miles. He gets home. And he says to his wife, honey, finally, I went to Social Security today. And I walked. I took a bus. I took a train. I walked 4 miles. I finally made it there. But when I got there, she told me she wasn't going to give me my Social Security because I forgot my license. But I'm smart, honey. You know how smart I am. I unbuttoned my shirt. I opened up my shirt. I showed all the gray hair on my chest. She gave me my Social Security. And the wife said, you should have dropped your pants. She would have gave you a disability, too. Good night.